Thank you, everybody.
Okay. So for those of you that don't know me, I am HMorris, and my presentation is the medical benefits of modern technology. So my topic was about advances in technology like a pump or prosthetics or an MRI that actually help healthcare for people who need it. So things like insulin for diabetics and pumps that actually help them monitor what goes through their body when they need it, things like that, blood sugar levels. Prosthetics that actually allow people to still participate in Olympics, not just still be able to walk, but to go that far. And MRIs that help detect things like cancer, all those other things. Things you could never detect before, like muscles, all that X-rays wouldn't even show. Why medical? My mom is actually a diabetes educator, which I've always kind of been interested in that kind of thing. And my brother actually at a young age was diagnosed with diabetes, so I've always wanted to go into the medical field. It's actually a kind of a medical family because my sister is also going to become a registered nurse out of Longwood. And for college, I'm actually very interested in becoming some kind of medical. I'm not sure about doctor, but maybe some other field in the medical area. My research question was, how have advances in technology affected healthcare? So I've mainly researched diseases like diabetes and cancer that things actually help them now. So like how insulin was not even discovered until 1910, but before that, all before that, that disease was actually very deadly. So people who were diagnosed with diabetes could actually die within a few years. But now it's actually very treatable. People can live all their life through diabetes. And actually now 29 million people are diagnosed with diabetes on average in America. So you can imagine how beneficial pumps and insulin and all those are actually to the human race. And cancer, just like MRIs, and now you have treatment like chemo, but we've never had that before. So it's great to have that. And actually, this is new technology for diabetes. This is actually a type of insulin pump now. It's called the ITCA 650. And it's actually being researched and all. It could come out in 2016, but what it does is actually put in an incision under your skin, and it actually releases insulin when you need it for 3 to 6 months. So that would mean that people do not need to monitor their insulin blood sugar levels for up to 3 to 6 months, which is a huge advantage. And that would really help people live their normal lives instead of having to worry about what they eat and all those other things. So I thought that was very interesting. My mentor was Dr. Karen Starr, and she works at the Martha Jefferson Hospital. And I actually met her at my church. She plays the violin in the band at my church. So what happened is that I wasn't really knowing where I wanted to do my internship. I knew I wanted to go either UVA or Martha Jefferson, but I actually, my cousin Allison Crawford, she actually works at Martha Jefferson. So we actually contacted her and we got in through that way. And it's actually very hard to get in because they have to be careful about who they let in the hospital to work with their patients. So I was very lucky to be able to work with her, and she was very good. And my internship, like I said, was at the Martha Jefferson Hospital, and I contacted Michelle Shepard, and she's the volunteer coordinator there. And I had to go and take a lot of classes to know all the things I needed to do and all the precautions and safety precautions. And it's actually really amazing, like how specific they are with what they need you to do and how you need to treat the patients there. And there's like a 10-foot rule. So if anybody's within 10 feet, you have to smile. And if they're within 5 feet, you have to actually like welcome and introduce yourself to make them feel at home there, since most people don't usually want to be at a hospital. And this is actually my ID badge that I earned after finally becoming a volunteer there. I had to take several classes and like spend several hours there. And it was a long process, but finally when I got through it, it was worth it. My first day of my internship, I actually had to box all these charts. There were like 116 boxes. So what they were actually patients' files that one doctor was coming over to the office, and he had never sent an email in his life. He had nothing to do with technology at all. So instead of having all that in a computer, I had to organize it into these files. So these files are like say 20 boxes. There was another one right here, another one right here, and another one right here. I spent like 7 hours organizing files for his patients. So that's very unorganized. I'm just saying, technology could really help out there. Especially my second day was actually a lot cooler. I actually got to see and learn a little bit about EEGs, which are how they test brain waves. So each one of these rows up here, you can see, is a different part of the brain. And those are the brain waves. So every single column is actually 1 second of time. So that's all the brain activity. And it's really interesting because you can tell what the person is doing just by looking at that. So if a person moves their finger, then one part of it will spike, where the brain actually told the finger to do that motion. And what they do there is that they look for abnormalities. So like if someone's having a seizure or seizure problems, that they can actually hook a machine up to them and let them sleep for a while. And you see something like this right here. This is actually a part where the brainwaves point towards each other. That's an abnormality, and that could signal their seizures. So another thing they'll do is that they'll put a machine on the person and send them home. So whenever they have a kind of like a spell, a thing that could be a seizure, they hit a button. So it tells the person what to look at, the brain waves at that moment, so they can see if it's actually a seizure or if it's something else. I thought that was very interesting. For my community service, it actually took a long time to find a community service that fit the medical field, because not too many people are welcoming just high school students to come watch them do whatever they need. But Miss Ash actually suggested going to the Ronald McDonald House. And if you're not familiar with the Ronald McDonald House, it's actually a house for families that have children who are sick or need help or have heart failure for whatever reason, and they stay there for a while they wait for their kid to have a heart donor or whatever they need. And right here is actually Mary Coffey. She's the volunteer coordinator there. She was very pleasant. I emailed her and she sent back the next day and was like, yes, we'd love to have you come have a tour and we can start the next week. And my job there was like to go pick up McDonald's dinner for them, because Tuesdays they have McDonald's every night. So I had to do that. And then mainly a lot of cleaning and just helping out with dinner and things like that, like a vacuuming, washing windows. But here's actually a picture of the building itself. It's right in Charlottesville. And this is the inside of it. And it's very welcoming to the families, it's very nice. It's like a hotel on the upper floor. So they have like their own rooms, two beds, a hall rooms, each have bathrooms. You have a dining area, and then downstairs you have like a whole lounge for kids to play, watch TV. There's a backyard. It's really welcoming. I thought that was really special for the family since they're going through hard times at that time. My legacy, actually me and Sasha Morgan actually kind of teamed up for this one. So what we did was we fundraised for teddy bears to send to children at hospitals through the Gleaning for the World Foundation. And what we did, we just collected actually a total of 300 teddy bears, which I thought was really a lot more successful than I thought it was going to be. And we actually collected from people like Mike London, the UVA's head football coach, and thought that was really cool. We're actually going to take them over through the next 2 weeks. Concord, Virginia is where we have to take them. So you can imagine fitting 300 teddy bears into one vehicle. Not sure how that's going to work, but we'll see. What I learned that I really do like the medical field. I like the environment of helping people. I do like working with people. So I'm definitely going to pursue that medical field in college. And I thought it was really cool. And I would say for senior advice for the children, there are a lot of wonderful things to do in summer. I realize that, but it's also the best time to start on your internship, community service, because when you get to school, there's always not that much time. And I find out with my internship, I actually had to do it over Christmas break because they only run during school hours. So I couldn't leave school to actually do that because I wanted to get it done. And driving to Charlottesville 1 hour per time when I needed like 20 hours. So doing during the summer is way more beneficial. And also phone calls. There's no better way to contact somebody and get all the information you need than to actually talk to them on the phone. And that also turns out to be way more successful in actually landing an internship with a mentor. Because emailing can take days. Some people don't actually use their emails like that doctor. I had to file so many files. So it's a lot more beneficial to use phone calls because everybody does it. Even though we're in the texting era, email, it actually is a big advantage. And Miss S, she's probably your most important resource. I did not use her enough. I realized that she knows everything that's going on. She's done it before. It's my first experience. I should rely on her more to keep everything in line and do everything I needed to. She actually helped me with the community service, so that really worked out well. I can thank her for that. Any questions?
So why do you think the doctor with all the boxes is kind of pushing technology to the side?
Because if you're in 2015 and you're a doctor, you would think at Martha Jefferson, everything's online, everybody has their own email. You would think you would have something, and it's so much easier to be able to search alphabetically than to have like sorted by numbers. And some of those people were actually deceased in these files. It's like, why do you still have these? It's really out of date. Some people hadn't been there for like 6 years, but you still have their files. I was like, this is
Did you make note? Did you show it to?
No, I just went with it. Like, so go right here.
On the Ronald McDonald House, I did my scene in high school at Albemarle. I had to do a presentation, and it was on the Ronald McDonald House then. Is that the same building, to your knowledge? Because what I'm seeing was not what it was in the early 90s.
That house a few years ago.
Okay.
It's fairly new. It's really nice inside.
Yeah, it looks not like what I.
It's spick and span.
It's definitely changed over time.
Any other questions?
You mentioned the insulin pump is one of the forms of technology that caught your attention. Were there any others that were kind of surprising?
There was like one thing, like a cane for like blind people. It actually like has a GPS system in it. So like you have the building layouts. So like whenever you get near a wall, it'll like tell you. It's really cool. But I didn't know like the specifics about it. But I saw that. I thought that was really interesting.
You go back to the ITC A650. Is it in use? I mean,
They're doing tests on it. It's gotten through the first 2 tests. Now they're doing like the health thing. So I looked it up last night. There was like progress on it. It said like comparing it to other pumps, and it says that it could be cleared by 2016, which would be really great if it actually turns out to be as good as they say it is. They say it takes a 6-millimeter incision, and they put it under. It takes like minutes to put it in. It only takes seconds to take it out, so every 3 to 6 months.